my first impressions, and this is part 2. I have already done a part 1 for this video, which I will link around the screen somewhere, but you guys requested a second part because you loved the first one so much, which I completely understand. I think that this is a great way of seeing how the makeup works in person and my first impressions, so it's like I haven't had time to really decide on the products. It's really truly just what I initially think of them, and I think that's probably the most helpful way. So yeah, I know you guys love these videos, so I really wanted to do part 2 for you guys, and I have a lot of products to try out. I think there's 8 in this video that I tried out, so keep watching if you're interested. The first product I'm taking is this stick foundation, and it is by the brand, or it has some labeling on it, and it says Ever Belena. So I'm not exactly sure what that indicates, but this is the color that I chose. They were sealed, so I couldn't see what color would suit me best, but I'm hoping that this one matches okay. It looks quite dark, but I'm just going to be applying this straight to my skin, kind of like you would with the Napoleon Purtis cover stick that they have. They're really thick foundation. This sort of reminds me of that, so I'm just going to go for it and just rub that on the skin. So it's really, really smooth. I'm just going to start applying it in that area, buffing it in with a Kabuki foundation brush. Now I have applied this all over my face, and I am so impressed with the results. Honestly, it is 100 times better than the last foundation I used in my other Daiso video. It is just so creamy and blendable, and I love the way that it melted into the skin without having to work in the product much with my brush. It just sits very nicely on the skin, a great texture, very easy to work with, and the only negative is that it is a tad bit shiny, but I will just use a powder for that. I mean, a lot of foundations and stick foundations are shiny. This is extremely comparable to the Napoleon Purtis cover stick, which retails for about $50. So I mean, actually, I think that retails for something more like $60. So you are saving so much money by getting the cheaper alternative, and this is so comparable. So I just think that this is a great product. Honestly, I am so shocked and pleasantly surprised with this. Moving on to concealer, I have chosen a new concealer. In my last Daiso video, I did try out one of their stick concealers. This is a liquid concealer. So the packaging is pretty cool. It's a little brush-on one. So I guess you just squeeze the tube and product comes out. I'm going to be attempting to use this for my under eye area, so we'll see how this one goes. So I'm just squeezing it and seeing if the product will come out. Oh my gosh, that is so dark. Okay, so this is a fail of a product. I really do not want that underneath my eye because it will look like I have under eye circles. I don't know if you guys can see, but I will swatch on my hand how dark. Oh my gosh. This concealer is like a taupey brown color. Like, I don't even know whose skin looks like that, because this is like a really ashy taupey color. I've never seen anyone look like this except for maybe an alien. It is literally like cement colored. So this is an awful concealer. Terrible color wise. I mean, the consistency feels alright, and it is really smooth and covering quite nicely. But if your skin is an alien colored taupe shade, then go for it. But if not, I'm sure you'll have much difficulty with this product. This is actually really disappointing. You could probably use this as like a contour, cream contour or something, but definitely not a concealer unless you want to look like you have under eye circles. Now that the concealer was a fail, I'm just going to be skipping right into powder. So I picked up this pressed powder. It is one of the ones in the square packaging. There are quite a few to choose from at Daiso. There's probably about 4 different types of powders. I chose this one because I like the packaging the most, and it came with a big mirror. And so as you can see, I'm extremely shiny from the stick foundation. So I definitely need this powder. So hopefully it isn't chalky or anything. It's just, I am kind of particular with my powders. I am a big fan of the Australis Fresh and Flawless and the MAC Studio Fix. So I'm hoping that it's something like that. So I think this is an alright powder. It's definitely not too chalky, and it's also not too powdery looking, but it mattifies the look very nicely. So I give this powder probably like a 2 thumbs up. I think it's really awesome. Now moving on to eyebrows. I picked up this eyebrow pencil. Now it took me so long to figure out which eyebrow pencil I wanted to go with. There were about 15 different options, and that's not even including different colors. There were literally like 15 different eyebrow pencils, and I was so overwhelmed. The fact that most of it wasn't in English, I couldn't really figure out how they differentiated between each other. but I ended up going with this one because I thought the packaging was cute. Other than that, I don't know how in the world you would figure out which one to go with other than just trying them out. So I picked up this one and am hoping for the best. If not, I will definitely go and have a look at the 15 other options there. But I'm going to see how this works with my eyebrows, and hopefully it isn't too dark, or I don't know. I'm really particular with my eyebrows, and it's hard to find products that match my hair color and like make me look normal. I actually think this is a really good eyebrow pencil, especially for $2.80. I mean, I usually use a Savvy one, which is around $7, still really crazy affordable, but I also use a MAC one, which is around, I think, $30 or something like that. So I actually think that this is a comparable quality to the Savvy and MAC eyebrow pencils, both of which are like so much more expensive. So as you can tell, it's actually really done a great job. It's enabled me to create a shape, actually look like I have eyebrows like a normal human being, because apparently I don't. I barely have eyebrows, as you can see. So this is actually really good. It's made it look very natural looking. It suits the color of my hair very nicely, and I'm really impressed with this. So I'm just going to go do the other eyebrow so I don't look weird like this. Moving on to the next product, and that brings me to this little gem, and this actually caused me some confusion. At first I thought that this was eyeshadows of some sort, because on the stand that it was on, it had other shades like purples and stuff like that. So I figured it was eyeshadow, but turns out it's actually blush. But I'm going to be using this bottom color here as blush, and then I'm going to be using these two as eyeshadows, just because this is such a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. I mean, not this color down here, but these two up here are just amazing eyeshadows. So I don't care if it's meant to be blush. I'm definitely going to be using this as an eyeshadow, but this is right up my alley. You guys know how much I love corals, and I just could not resist this. It was just so gorgeous. It was calling out to me, and I definitely wanted to pick this up. So I'm going to be using this as blush and eyeshadow, long story short. So I'm just going to be taking a little blush brush and dipping it in this bottom color here, tapping off any excess, and then just applying this to my cheeks. It doesn't seem to be that pigmented, which is like, it's just giving sort of a sheen. I personally do like blushes that aren't that pigmented because I'm not a big blush person, but this isn't really picking up very well, and I think it just might be because the product isn't very pigmented. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it's not really showing up on my skin, unfortunately. This might be good for really, really pale skin. At the moment I'm kind of a little bit tan, so maybe that could be why it isn't showing up very pigmented. Now taking this peachy color here, I'm taking that on just a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to be applying that all over the lid. Again, I'm going to be doing what I did in my last Daiso first impressions. So this eye has no eye primer, and I'm just going to be applying some eye primer to this eye, and that will determine how well the colors actually pick up on their own and then with an eye primer. Now I'm taking this white color here, and I'm just going to be applying that in the inner corner of my eyes to brighten up the eye look. Now that I've used every shade in this little compact, my overall thoughts is that it's not an amazing blush just because it isn't that pigmented. It's also not that great of an eyeshadow. I mean, it's good for just a very light wash of peach, but the white wasn't as pigmented as some other Daiso eyeshadows I've tried. So overall, this wasn't my favorite palette, especially from Daiso. I've used way better eyeshadows from them, as seen in my last video where the eyeshadows were much more pigmented. Keeping in mind this isn't an eyeshadow, so I mean, I do have to keep that in mind, but it just wasn't that great as a blush either. So yeah, I am going to actually, just to finish off, mix these two colors as a highlight for my cheekbones. So I'm just taking the palette and then my little fan brush and mixing them together and then applying it to my cheekbones, hopefully giving a sheen to my cheeks. And I actually think that's what I would continue using it for, just mixing these two colors together and applying it to my cheekbones as a highlight, because other than that, it isn't that much of a great palette. Now that leaves me with only two more products to try out. The first being an eyelash curler that I picked up, because $3 for an eyelash curler, I mean, I definitely had to try it out and see if it was any good. So I'm going to be using that next, and then to finish off, I'll be using one of their lip glosses. I didn't pick up a lipstick just because I really wasn't sure of how the colors would look, and yeah, I just wasn't keen on them, but I did see this lip gloss and absolutely loved it. So we'll see how both of these products go. First, starting off with the eyelash curler. Okay, so I'm just going to curl my lashes like I normally would. wow, it actually is a really good eyelash curler. I honestly think that this curls my lashes extremely well and hassle-free. Like, you don't really need to press hard at all. And yeah, I just think that this is a really good eyelash curler. I really like the way that it makes my eyelashes very curled. It actually works better than the one that I'm currently using, so I think this will replace my current eyelash curler. Now, the last product I have to try is this lip gloss, and I'm actually really excited because it looks like a gorgeous color. It looks right up my alley as sort of like a dusty, rosy, pinky. Oh, nearly dropped it. It just looks like a color I would wear on a daily basis. So let's see how this one goes. I really am excited. So it's a doe foot applicator. It's really creamy. So I really, really like this one. It smells good. It actually has like a vanilla-y taste. You can taste without even getting it in your mouth. Like, it's really strong vanilla-y scent and smell. And just, it's very vanilla-y. And I really do like this one. I think it's really smooth. It's not sticky. It's just as pigmented as you'd want it to be while still being glossy and natural. I just really love this one. And I think that this is a great pick for, especially, it's only $2.80, so I mean, it's a great lip gloss for that price. And yeah, I'm really impressed with it. Cute packaging as well. I mean, this is really cute. I'd love to carry this around in my handbag. And so that was part 2 of my Daiso first impressions. I absolutely love Daiso. I mean, I think I'm going to be doing a part 3, and if that's something you guys want to see, then let me know, because I really do love Daiso, and I think that for $2.80, you can pick up a lot of great quality products. As you can see, like, my face looks like I normally do my makeup, even though I've used much cheaper products than I normally would. I mean, I have a lot of MAC and Chanel in my everyday routine, and I honestly can't tell the difference between this and some of my everyday makeup that includes really higher end makeup. So I think that Daiso is a great place to get really great quality makeup for a extremely affordable price. I mean, it's just really awesome, and I'm really happy that Daiso has come to Australia and we're able to get really affordable makeup. So I did get a lot of questions in my last video, which I do want to sort of clear up now. The main question was, where do you get these products? And I'm from Brisbane, and I get mine from Chermside Shopping Centre, but you can also get them in the city. I think there's a store in there that I've seen. And also, Daiso isn't just the brand, it's the whole store. So it's Daiso makeup at the Daiso store. It's not just a brand that you get places. You can only get it at Daiso, and it's Daiso makeup. So I hope that sort of clears it up, because there was a bit of confusion, and I sort of do understand why. But yeah, I'm not sure about other countries, not other countries, other states in Australia. I was in Sydney a couple months ago, and I did see one on George Street, and I also saw one in the city, so look around there. But I'm sorry, I don't really know where they are in other states, because I don't live in other states, but Brisbane, Chermside and the city, and Sydney on George Street and the city as well. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful. I know that a lot of you guys are very skeptical about $2.80 makeup. I mean, I was as well, and the other reason I picked it up because I was interested to see what it was like, and I'm really glad that I can show you guys how they work in action rather than just do a haul or something with them. So I know that you guys find these videos really helpful, so I will do a part 3 if you want to see one. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe for videos every Monday and Thursday. I'll talk to you really soon in my next video. Bye everyone.